For all your hemp wellness needs, information, products, parties, and merch, visit thebudplug.com.
It's Mike Ross, also known as Mike on the Mic. He's getting ready for his upcoming 2022 comedy run. He'll be kicking it off at Benny Brand's Dress Factory Comedy Club. Caroline's on Broadway, Punchline Philly. You don't want to miss him take the stage at the DC Improv. Then he'll be coming to the Atlanta Improv and at Chocolate Sunday's Comedy Show in Los Angeles, California.
It's Mike on the Mic. Looking forward to seeing you there.
I was reading that you were the like head or chief bodyguard to Malcom X's sister. What type of things have you know? Can you take us back a little bit through your experience, and in particular dealing with like the FBI and how they kind of viewed you guys back then, if you can?
Yeah, they still kind of view us the same way today.
Right.
You know, I was Ella's bodyguard. I was also the imam of the Muslim Mosque Inc. at the same time, the mosque Malcolm started. At age 21, I was the imam, one of the youngest in the country. Didn't appoint myself to imam. I was elected by a council twice. I turned it down the first time. I didn't want to be no religious nothing. I just wanted to fight. I wanted to be a soldier in the revolution. I wasn't interested in no religion. But the second go around, Hisham Jabbat, a brother who buried Malcolm, asked me to walk around the block, and Hisham tricked me. He said, listen, James, if you do this for us for 1 year while we train somebody, we'll be grateful. But 1 year turned into 11. And I learned a lot. But as Ella's bodyguard, we were dealing in a world, you know, Malcolm had just been murdered. I became her bodyguard in 66. Malcolm had just been murdered in 65. The Black Panther Party was just growing in its intensity. The Black Liberation Army was just being given birth to. The Utah Fighters, that's another force most people never heard about. The International Commandos, these were guerrilla forces working out of our community. And so we were infiltrated, not just by the FBI. See, they tried to play us with one. We had Army intelligence, Navy intelligence, state intelligence, corporate intelligence, New York City Police Department and local municipal intelligence, CIA. They were all in our communities. Okay. There was an occasion, and I can call his name. He's an ancestor now, but he was a friend of mine. He was the highest ranking Black police officer in New York City. His name is Chief Inspector Eddie Waits. He loved his people and he served his people, and he saved me multiple times because I saved his son on an occasion. And Eddie, let's say I helped his son. I didn't save him, I helped his son. But one day in 1969, Inspector Waits came up to the school. And this time I met him. I was at the city college, and I saw this guy pull up in a black limousine, and a hand came out and said, "Hey, Small, well, what did you think I'd do?" A hand waving at me out of a black limousine. I started running in the opposite direction. I go in this building. And then this big, tall black man steps out in full brass police uniform. So I came out the building, but like, what y'all want with me? And he was telling me to leave the state office building site in Harlem that we had taken over a couple of months before because the hit was coming down. So I said, why you want to ask me to leave? He says, because you don't know what you did. He says, you helped someone who was close to me in a certain way. I won't put the private business, but I helped that person. And he says, so I'm returning that favor. And I'm arguing, I'm not leaving. And he wanted me to take my men off. I had about 30 men from the OAU in there. And so he wanted me to take them off. And I said, no. And then he says to me, he says, you don't understand. He says 7 out of 10 of the people on there belong to us in one way or another. I said, man, that don't even sound realistic. Then he started naming them all. Army intelligence, Navy intelligence, FBI, CIA. One person who was on top of me and I thought was my best friend was British intelligence out of Belize.
Damn.
So they were, you know, and so I removed my men, but I stayed until the hit came that day. And we battled in the streets of New York that day. We battled, brother. We won some of those battles too. But the point is, being Ella's bodyguard, living in a world where we were told that every pay phone in Harlem,
Mhm.
sorry,
What's up?
every pay phone in Harlem was tapped. A judge wanted to give Ella, this is 1967. This judge wanted to give her some information. So he sent someone. He said, don't call me. Here's where we're going to meet. And the reason why, he says, not only is your phone tapped, but every payphone in Harlem is tapped. This is 67, right? So that's what you were living under, that kind of surveillance. They were afraid of us then. They're more afraid of you young people now because of your intellectual skill, because of your ability to use this technology in communication, because of your ability to make a music that has broken through all the barriers in the world and carrying a social commentary and a message of freedom to the whole world in the way Bob Marley did it with reggae. That's what they're afraid of. That your genre, your techniques, your technology of hip hop is opening minds to see the contradiction in the political structures and the economic structures and the corporate structures of the world.
As you're sitting there, oh, go on, I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
As you're sitting here telling us that story, it amazes me. I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, a lot of us are some punks, man. Y'all went through some stuff in the 60s and y'all really fought. But then you say that we are even more important and that we have even more power. So I want to know, I'm curious to know, how close do you feel like we are to financial and physical liberation that our ancestors and that our elders fought for so long? How close are we really, in your opinion?
Let me tell you what's missing. Y'all got the money. Y'all got the skills. You got the technical skills. You got the college degrees like we've never had. What's missing is your understanding of history, of yourself in Africa and here. And I know there's some brothers and sisters saying, well, the people in Africa, they sold us. Who sold you? There's a couple of billion people there now. You go line up the ones who saw you, shoot them suckers then. But what you going to do with all the others who fought for you? Who fought against them? Which is 90% of the people of that continent. 96% to be precise. There was a study done on the amount of Africans involved in the slave trade. It came out to 4%. 96% was Muslims and Christians. Are you going to fight and kill all your Muslim and Christian brothers and sisters that live down the street around the corner? So we need to straighten up our minds and how we see reality. You know, we came over here from someplace. Yes, some of us were already here. We came before Columbus also. But at the end of the day, most of them died from the white man diseases because we had no immunity to them. And what was left married the ones that came off the boats. And here I am and here you are with our browned up skin. This didn't come from the white man penis. This come from the integration between your Asiatic brothers and sisters and you who were here before the ships came and those who came on the ships. Study history will erase the mystery. Not Michael Imhotep, the other brother, Imhotep, who wrote a book, The First Americans Were Africans. His name is Imhotep. Excellent book, excellent bibliography. When you read these books, look at their bibliography, because they may list 50, 60 or more books you can read, you know, and get this information. But the majority of us who are here in North America, we came on those slave ships. And we amalgamated with those who were already here. Brother LaRon Bennett in his book, Shaping a Black America. And people should read that book, Shaping a Black America by Dr. LaRon Bennett. And the other one, also Dr. LaRon Bennett, is called Before the Mayflower. Get the revised edition. Boy, there's so much information. Just open stuff up for you, you know? And you really get to see. And in his Shaping of Black America, he has a chapter called The Red and the Black. And he talks about the blacks who are already here, who amalgamated with the ones who came off the ship. Because the white man said that they all look the same to us. Let's just raid their villages and enslave everybody. South Carolina and Georgia and Florida, and that's what they did. But many of us escaped. We had many maroon communities. We had many free communities. I come out of one of those free communities on my grandpa's side, Andrew Small, you know, up in a place called Burgess today, what they call Murrells Inlet, just above Paul's Island, South Carolina, up in the woods. Yeah, I'm a bush Negro, and I'm proud of being a bush Negro. Yeah, I'm a Gullah Geechee bush Negro, straight up out of Africa. you know, whether I came here before the ships or after the ship. But I'm here, and you're here.
I got a 2-part question.